All right, so this is Module 3, Lesson 13. It is solving multiple step word problems. So we've been focused on multiplication, so you can be sure there's multiplication involved, but there's also other steps too. Sometimes you might have to add or subtract. So in order to do your independent practice in your workbook today, you're going to really want to pay attention to this and watch the steps and make sure that you don't try to do more than one step at a time. That's the key with the word problems. So for word problems, we're going to always use the RDW process. That's read, draw, and write. And so, hold on, having technical difficulties. There we go. So read, draw, write. And so, again, some people say read the whole word problem first. I honestly, the more I think about it, I don't think you should. I think, like we do in class, I think as soon as you read one sentence, you stop and you write down or draw a picture of the information they give you. So in this one, it says, number 1, over the summer, Kate earned $180. So I'm already going to stop. I'm going to put $180 each week for 7 weeks. So you can model this with a tape diagram will be good, or if you know exactly the operation you're going to need to do with these numbers, then you can go ahead and write that down. But let's say that I wanted to do a tape diagram. I could represent $180, and then for 7 weeks, right, I can just draw 7 total boxes with 180 in each. And some of you already knew that I could do multiplication and just represent that as 180 times 7, or even do repeated addition 187 times. All right, so that's my first thing. So before you even move on, I would go ahead and solve this. So what is 180 times 7? All right, whatever method you used, let's see if you got that right. So that should be 1,260. All right, so we've covered that part. Let's keep going. Of that money, so of the money that we have so far, she spent $375 on a new computer. So spent $375. So how would I represent that as a math expression? That's right. So if she spent, she subtracted, or she had 375 fewer dollars on new on a new computer, and 137 on new clothes. Right, and they want to know how much money she had left. So 2 things you could do with this, right? You could subtract each amount from the total. But what I would do is, since you're taking away both of these amounts, I would total that up first and then subtract it from the 1,260. So I'm going to total these first. All right. And now I'm going to take this, because she spent this amount, $512, and I'm going to subtract it from 1,260. So what did you get for your answer? All right, let's see. So I'll have to borrow here. So you should have got $748 as your answer. All right. Okay, let's move on to the second problem. The second one has a lot of steps. So we're going to make sure we go one step at a time, write everything down, draw pictures if we can. All right. Oop. Almost forgot the writing part. Sorry. Going back to problem 1. When the writing part, remember, they want you to write as a sentence. So you would just say, she had $748 left or remaining. Okay, sorry. All right, redraw right. So Sylvia weighed 8 pounds when she was born. I'm going to put 8 or 8 pounds. By her first birthday, her weight had tripled. All right, so what math expression would show that her weight had tripled? That's right, so it'd be 8 times 3. So born, first birthday, it had tripled. All right, so I've read those two. By her second birthday, she had gained 12 more pounds. How would I show she had gained 12 pounds? That's right, so she was plus 12 from whatever she weighed at her first birthday, right? So at that time, Sylvia's father weighed, okay, so now they're talking about Sylvia's father. So what I would do is I would figure out what Sylvia weighs at this point, okay? So let's go back. So when she was born, she weighed 8 pounds. Her first birthday, she was 3 times that, and then 12 more pounds by her second birthday. So which expression would we use to solve and figure out how much Sylvia weighs at 2 years old? That's right, we put everything together. So first birthday, she was 8 pounds when she was born, 3 times that when she was 1, and 12 more when she was 2. So at this point, that's 24 plus 12. So Sylvia weighs 36 pounds. All right, now let's go on to her dad, see what they want us to do next. At that time, Sylvia's father weighed 5 times as much as she did. All right, so how much? If Sylvia's father weighed 5 times as much as Sylvia did at 2 years old, how much does Sylvia's father weigh? All right, so hopefully you took Sylvia's weight and multiplied it by 5. And that should give you that the father weighs 180. So now we know the father's 180, Sylvia's 36, right? So next step is complete. Last question. What was Sylvia and her dad's combined weight? Combined, right? So what is the combined weight of Sylvia and her father now? That's right. So hopefully you combined, his total, took the father's weight and Sylvia's weight and added them and got 216. Okay. Let's do one more. I know we have 2 more on here, but we're just going to do one more. It's 3 different kinds of problems here. All right. Well, actually, maybe I'll have you try the 4th on your own. All right, number 3. 3 boxes. I'm already going to stop. 3 boxes weighing 128 pounds each. All right, so I'm going to draw this. This is perfect for drawing. 3 boxes. They each weigh 128 pounds. And 1 box weighing 254, okay, were loaded onto the back of a truck. So there's 4 boxes that could have been loaded onto a truck. Drawing picture helps. A crate of apples was then loaded onto the same truck. We don't know how much that weighed, so we just put A for apples. If the total weight loaded onto the truck was 200 pounds, so we already know the total, how much did the crate of apples weigh? All right, see if you can solve this. See if you can figure out what to do. All right, so hopefully you realize that you know this information and you have to figure out this. So you take what you know to figure out what you don't know. So the first thing you do is you add these four totals together. Okay, so 128 and 128, that's 256. And another 128 should be 384 plus 254. That should be 638. So that's the total for this amount. And then hopefully you realized you would subtract that from the overall weight that was on the truck to figure out the apples. So the apples, if you subtract correctly, we're gonna have to keep borrowing here. So borrow again, that's a 3. Borrow again, that's a 6. So 1,362 would be the weight, the crate of apples. All right. Okay, I'm not going to go on and do the fourth problem. When you go to do the problems in your workbook, make sure that you go step by step. Do not read two sentences at the same time. Do not try to skip steps or do too many steps at once. If you take each bit of information individually and work out that part of the problem, it will be much easier to go through all the steps. All right, so take your time and do a